There's one question my clients and subscribers are always asking. Amy, how can I tell if a guy likes me? In this article, I'll cover the top 10 signs that indicate a guy likes you. And I'll also explain how to tell if a man likes you just from his text messages, so that you'll be able to look at his texts and know exactly what he's thinking about you. Before we begin analyzing his text messages, though, let's start by looking at the top 10 overall signs that indicate a guy is into you. 10 signs a guy likes you. Men aren't great at communicating their feelings. It's just reality. For the most part, a guy isn't going to send you flashing neon signs that he's into you like 24 red roses, professing his love outside your bedroom window, or picking you up in a horse-drawn carriage. But just about all men put out very common, subtle signs that they're into you. You just need to know what to look for. Please click on our website for more specific instructions. Sign number 1, he makes eye contact with you. Eye contact. Flirting couple. When it comes to figuring out how to know if a guy likes you, nothing is more of a giveaway than the eyes. How a man looks at you can reveal what he's thinking and feeling on the inside. Because as they say, the eyes are the window to the soul. So, even if he never approaches you or is too shy or insecure to make a move, he could still be interested in you. And his eyes will give you your answer. If you want to know if a guy likes you, then look in his eyes. Does he make long, lasting and powerful eye contact with you? It's a great sign if he does. Plus, it's just another excuse to stare dreamily into the eyes of that perfect guy. Sign number 2, he shows his teeth when he smiles. Okay, this one may sound a little odd, but believe it or not, most guys stop grinning with an open mouth before they become teenagers. A big toothy grin, then, becomes a telltale sign that a guy could be interested. If you happen to notice your man bearing those full sparkly whites, there's a good chance it means you're doing something to push all the right buttons. And that he's into you. So, look out for those pearly whites. Sign number 3, his pupils are huge. Back to eyes again with this one. Pupil dilation is a brain response that happens when you like and are attracted to something. That means if his pupils grow from small and barely noticeable to big and wide, this is a strong indicator to let you know if he's into you. Now, obviously, if you're in a dark room and his eyes are naturally dilating to let in more light, this can be a bit misleading. But trust me, you'll notice when his pupils dilate, and it has nothing to do with letting in more light. And everything to do with him liking you. Sign number 4, he smiles above the mouth. Smiles above his mouth? What on earth does that mean, Amy? It's pretty simple, really. Basically, when a guy smiles with his eyes appear to be smiling without the rest of the face joining in. It's what Tyra Banks calls smizing. And it's a powerful sign he likes you. When a guy smizes, you can bet that he's genuinely into you. Simple as that. Sign number 5, he licks his lips in a cute, non-creepy way. Science has proven that when you're attracted to someone, your mouth produces extra saliva. Think about it. If you're attracted to someone, your body instinctively starts preparing your mouth to kiss. So, if you notice him licking his lips or pressing them together anytime you're around, well, he may just be into you. It may only be subtle, but keep an eye on those lips. As if you weren't picturing kissing them already. Sign number 6, he leans towards you when you talk in a noisy bar. This sign might not mean much, as he could simply be straining to hear you. But if you're in a situation where he can hear you perfectly fine and he still leans in closely when you speak, then chances are he's interested in you. When he leans in like this, he's getting close to you, inviting you into his space, so close he can smell your perfume, and sharing your aura. By softly stepping up the level of intimacy between you, be leaning in, he's turning an ordinary conversation into a situation charged with sexual energy. Be aware and think to yourself next time you're chatting, is he extremely close to me? Can I almost feel the warmth of his breath? If the answer's yes, then that's a very positive sign. Friends touching. Sign number 7, he finds a reason to touch you. This is one of the clearest signs a guy is into you. If a guy goes out of his way to touch you, this usually means he's very interested. Whether this means grazing your back as you cross the street, tucking a loose hair behind your ear, or simply placing a hand on your leg to emphasize a point when talking. If the man you're into finds reasons to initiate physical contact, then it could be a test to see how you respond to his touch. This is such a clear sign of interest because touch is one of the body's most emotive and powerful senses. Just a single stroke can communicate so much, sending goosebumps all over your body and making the brain release all kinds of endorphins. Sign number 8, he points his toes toward you. Believe it or not, feet are largely controlled by the unconscious mind, and the direction they point can be very telling when it comes to reading body language. You see, the further a body part is from the brain, the less aware we are of its movements, and so it's more likely to unconsciously give off signals of our true inner feelings. Studies have shown that if a man's feet are pointing towards you, he could be interested, because our feet typically point in the direction they want to go. Now, don't spend the whole time looking down at his feet. That'll just be weird and make him think you have a foot fetish. But do casually keep an eye on where they're pointing when you're together. Sign number 9, he walks beside you when you walk together. Is he constantly 2 steps ahead of you? If so, it means he's more concerned about himself than you. Of course, there are some exceptions to this. Like a lack of space, or if he's leading you through a crowded area. But for the most part, it's not a good sign if he's steaming ahead of you. On the other hand, if he's right there by your side, shoulder to shoulder, always adjusting his pace to match yours, it's a good sign he's into you. Sign number 10, he keeps the conversation going. If a guy seems keen to always continue a conversation with you, either in person, on the phone, or via text messages, then there's a good chance he's at least somewhat interested in you romantically. After all, when someone is chatty, laughing a lot, and keeping a conversation going for hours on end, it usually means they're enjoying the conversation. That's a great sign, especially if a guy never seems keen on ending the chat or hanging up the phone, even when you've already been talking for hours. And when a man shows a genuine interest in your life, asks meaningful and thoughtful questions, and suggests you talk again soon as the conversation is ending, that's also a positive sign. Keep reading if you want to learn how to read between the lines when you're texting with a guy, because I'll be covering that in depth in a moment. Has he already shown some of these signs? Has a guy you like already displayed several of these 10 signs? Then he probably likes you. Once you spot these signs, and you're pretty confident that he likes you, your next step is crucial. You want to set yourself up for success, and you want to win your man's heart at the highest point of his attraction. Start by watching the new video I've posted on my website, where I reveal something called devotion sequences. These are stupidly simple but incredibly powerful phrases you can use on any man to make him obsess over you, starting today. Please click on our website for more specific instructions.